Hey everyone, welcome back to today's video. This question has been asked to me in different formats from different people. So they're very clueless. They just want to move to Australia, but they don't know how. Some people know on what visa or what is the pathway to move, but they just need some guidance with technical assistance. This video is for everyone or anyone who wants to move to Australia, but who does not have an idea or who wants to explore the options and see whether it suits them. Okay, so I'm going to be sharing different scenarios about student visa, who can choose student visa, what are the advantages and disadvantages of student visa, especially if you're married or if you're planning to get married or if you have children. What are the advantages and disadvantages? What is the advantage of skilled visa? Even if you're trying to be patient for 1 or 2 years, what are the benefits of attaining a skilled visa? So I'm going to be sharing genuinely my opinion. It's up to you to make the final verdict. I'm not going to touch upon partner visa, but that is again one option based on which you can come to Australia.
If you're new to this channel and don't know me, I'm Dr. Priya, PhD in biotechnology, academician by profession, moved to Australia as a skilled migrant in 2016, got my permanent residency, filing for my citizenship this year. And this channel is all about educating and making people aware of the different types of visas and process them without getting scammed by spending thousands and lakhs of rupees. So make sure to hit the subscribe and turn the notifications on to be instantly notified of the new videos. Without much delay, let's get on to today's video.
So these are the three options. So student visa, either you come to study or you or your partner, if you're married, one of you can come on a student visa, the other person can come as a dependent. So that's one way how you can enter into Australia. The second way is a skilled migrant. If you have the relevant qualification, if you have work experience relevant to a particular field, and that occupation is on the skilled occupation list, then you can move as a skilled migrant. So as you all know that I have done an immigration series, so it's still half pending, but the first 3 videos are very, very important for people who are starting out, who have no idea how to start the visa process, how to check whether your occupation is eligible, whether your occupation is on the demand list, and what is a skill assessment. Everything I've covered in my immigration series. I've got a separate playlist, so make sure to check that playlist to get that complete information. Now, the third category is partner visa. We're not going to talk much about it because this is kind of something that you can't give a straight advice on. So that is another way. So either you are marrying or getting married to someone who is already in Australia on any kind of visa, then you will be eligible to move with a legal partner visa, or you could come in a tourist visa and then process your partner visa. So there are different options, and that is a whole different ocean of information for partner visa. So we are going to discuss in this video in detail about the first two scenarios and what are the different factors to consider before you make that big decision. The things that we discuss now are the entry pathways. Okay, so either a student visa is one pathway, skilled migrant is another pathway, or partner visa. So those are the three pathways that we covered. As I told you in the introduction, that these two different types of pathways we've got. So student visa and the skilled migrant visa. Now, under what criteria, under what condition would I advise a student visa is when you do not have the relevant qualification or a chunk of work experience to prove your expertise, if you do not have the skill set to migrate as a skilled migrant, but if you have some bit of background or say a bachelor's, or if you have good funds, that is very, very important. So a lot of money is required for student visa. So if you are capable of affording that particular X amount of money, then student visa is a quicker, easier option, especially after coronavirus, where the universities are desperate to get foreign students and get lots of funds, because of all my videos, I've mentioned that international students and migrants are the backbone of Australian economy. They form a very significant part, especially the international student fees. So now with the pandemic, there's so much of crisis in the academic sector, and they would strongly encourage student visas. So this is going to be a much easier pathway for people who are looking for quick fix, who want to desperately enter into Australia and start a life or establish yourself. Student visa is a quicker option. If you're looking at the skilled migrant visa, it is a kind of a shortcut for people who already have the skills. So you actually remove 3 to 5 years of your struggle in student visa, the repayment of your student visa loans, and also the limited amount of work hours that you do as a student. So student visa has its own merits and demerits. So it's okay for someone who has done a bachelor's in India, immediately you're trying to move for master's, or after 1 or 2 years, you want to upskill yourself and you want to settle. It's okay for that late 20s age. But if you're in the early 30s, mid 30s, and if you're married with family, you might not want to add that additional burden of financial crisis. So a skilled migrant would be a better option. So if you already have 2 years of work experience, and if the assessment authority says minimum 3 years of work experience, prepare yourself for the best in that 1 year. So get that 1 year work experience. In that 1 year, you prepare for your English exam like IELTS or PTE or whatever possible to power pack your application, and you can apply for 189 or 190, come directly as a PR here and avail the benefits of the government because you're a permanent resident straight away. Okay, so it is a bit of a time consuming process, but look at the amount of money that you save and the benefits that you get as a permanent resident or a temporary resident once you move here. It's always much better than the student visa. But if you do not have the qualification, if you're impatient, if you have money to spend on, then definitely student visa is an easier option. Okay, then definitely up to you. But I'm going to be discussing with you certain criteria which will help you to choose, which will help you to find out the positive and the negative in both these pathways. Like I said, the first criteria is competency or qualification. So if you're already competent in terms of you have your bachelor's or master's in your particular field, you have a good amount of work experience that certifies you as an expert in that field, you possess that skills, you have an employer who will give you a reference letter that will evidence your roles and responsibilities in that role. If you have pay slips, if you have paid tax, so all these documents, if you've got, or if you can organize it, then a skilled migrant pathway would be a much better option. But if you're someone who has done some course, have done some really not very relevant to your qualification kind of a job, because skill assessment requires you to have relevant work experience and qualification. The and/or is very rare. So usually it's qualification and work experience in the similar field to get a positive skill assessment. If you do not have the and, then in that case, you will have an extended amount of work experience that you show to compromise. But I'm really unsure how much it works in favorable for you to get a positive assessment. But if you have studied chemical engineering, you are expected to work somewhere related to the chemical engineering field, or the justification that you can provide that it is relevant to that particular field of study. Okay, so skill assessment itself is a separate first big step that you take in the immigration plan. Okay, so if you do not have the qualification, then definitely student visa would be a much easier option, or get married to someone. That's much easier. Okay, maybe not. The second one is time frame. So how desperate you are, like I said. So if you are looking for a quick fix, if you have the money, or if you organize a loan, if you can, you want to just come in 2021, January, you want to celebrate New Year in Australia, student visa is the only option. Because realistically, when you take skilled migrant, like I said, it is a long time. I dedicated 12 months or even 14 months of my maternity break for my immigration process. It was worth it because I was jobless. I was utilizing my maternity break productively. So I was not desperate, but again, it depends on the personal scenario. What do you like? What do you want? So based on that, you could choose. Okay, so however desperate you are, go for student visa, or if you want to take it slow, one step at a time and plan your best future here, then definitely skill migrant visa. Okay, and the fees and the money. So the affordability, student loans, not everyone can afford, like 20,000, 24,000 per year for the course, depending on the course, depending on the institute, depending on the states you study. So I've got different videos about student visas, how you can choose universities, what are the advantages, disadvantages, make sure to check them out. So if you can manage the student visa fees, student visa as an option. If not, even if you're taking the permanent residency or the skill migrant pathway, you still have to spend around $800 to $1,000 for the skill assessment. You will have to spend for the English exam. You will have to spend for visa fees. So visa fees, it's around $4,000 for the primary applicant, and then it is 2,000, I think, roughly, for any person who is aged above 18, dependents, and under 18, I think it's half. So I spent like, I think we spent around 4 lakhs for a family of 4, for me, my husband, and kids. So at that time, so 2015, 16, I'm talking about. So it could be different now. So please make sure, based on your affordability, don't think this is easier, this is cheap, nothing comes for free, okay? Yeah, so I believe these factors would have helped you in identifying what type of visa is suitable for your personal scenario. It all comes down to personal choice. I'm here only to guide you and tell you my personal opinion on what is suitable, because at this time, I know with the lockdown, with the economy going so bad, so many people are reaching out to me and asking, I just want to come there, what do I do, how can I migrate? But it is not a straightforward answer. Every situation, everyone's personal scenario is different. That's why I thought I'll do a consolidated video that would explain the different visa options, and also based on what scenarios you could choose your option. Okay, I hope this video was useful, and if you like it, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you like such realistic visa and migration advice, please make sure to hit the subscribe and turn the notifications on to be instantly notified whenever I post some new videos. I'll see you all in the next video.